So it hasn't even been a full 24 hours or anything yet since James Gunn was fired from Guardians and all of Disney, really, and the questions are starting to pile up. Okay, so you guys probably know what's up. You probably checked into it now after I did the last video, and James Gunn is in a really bad spot after making some controversial comments about 7 to 10 years ago, which have gotten him to be fired from Disney. And this is one of those things where you look at it, you're going, man, what is the next step? And a lot of people have already started asking me, and I've seen a few people already starting to speculate, what happens to Guardians 3? Is it canceled? Well, yes and no, I think is the answer. Certainly Marvel Studios cannot not make a Guardians 3, right? They can't just go, now we're abandoning that. Like, that's a huge franchise, household names. The merchandise alone that is sold on Groot surpasses most things every year when the movie comes out. So it's huge, right? It's a huge brand. So you can't abandon that. On the other hand, there's a lot of bad association now with it when they put it out, because a lot of stories is going to be former director, and they're going to toss in those controversial words and headlines, and it's going to look bad on Disney. So what do? Well, realistically, they're going to find somebody else to direct Guardians 3, which is exactly where the problems come in. It's James Gunn's world. James Gunn has been helping shape this world. So what exactly are you going to do, right? There's a couple ways you really kind of go about this, and you have to just kind of like sit there and go, this is just like a mess, right? It's a giant mess. And I think that's the big problem here, because nobody saw this coming, and now that it's happening, certainly a lot of stuff is in limbo. And is Guardians 3 going to happen? Well, probably. I'm going to say 100% it's happening, but James Gunn will not be involved in any way, shape, or form. And here's the bigger thing to talk about it with that. James Gunn did the screenplays and the scripts for the first 2 films. If you don't want his name attached to the third one, which he did the screenplay for that as well, you have to change a substantial amount of the movie. Same thing that happened with Joss Whedon, going on to Justice League and things like that. Edgar Wright, of course, with Ant-Man. You have to change around a pretty big amount to be able to remove him, because it's not his anymore. And they're not going to want his name on it at all. So the likelihood of him just not getting any credit is going to lead to a complete rewrite. And with the movie slated to start at the end of the year, that's pushing a very quick turnaround on a new script. And that's where all the problems are going to start to show up. So, is he fired? Yeah. Is Guardians 3 canceled? No. But it could suffer.